Guys, I'm Dan Manik and Daniel's son. Welcome to Think About It Reviews, where we're talking Guardians of the Galaxy 2. That's right, our just mischievous bunch, those heart of gold type characters like Andy. He's still Andy to me, alright, or aka Star-Lord, and Gamora, Rocket, Groot, Drax, you know, all the crew. We're back for another adventure, and the real question going into this film is it better than the first? In my opinion, it's not better than the first film. I really did see some stuff that I wasn't really feeling too much in the film. But overall, as the film itself, I had a lot of fun again. It was great to see these characters back at it. And this time, they're not just separate, right? In the very beginning, in the first film, it was more a little bit better just trying to, getting the gang together. But now the gang is here, and they treat each other like family. I mean, they have Rocket. I think in this film, there's a couple of characters in this film that are just real dicks. They're just really mad at the world, and reasonably so. Like you're with these people for so long, like Peter's with Rocket, or Peter with Gamora, or Drax. Drax seems to be the one that always laughs and just having a good time, which was great. That was great to see Drax just really have a good time compared to the first film. But a lot of people are going to get under each other's skins. I mean, they're the Guardians of the Galaxy, so to speak, but then they do some stupid stuff. I think what was really great about this film was the overall kind of the point it was trying to hit you over the head with. I mean, Peter, it's no secret, Kurt Russell is Peter's father. We see that in the trailer. We see these in marketing. There's a lot of things that they kind of spoil, which I wish they would kind of hold back on a lot of that stuff for the film. But there's still a lot of great surprises, a big twist, which I really appreciate. And Kurt Russell coming into here, I kind of wished he had a little bit more scenery to chew up more, because when he comes in here, I mean, he looks great, he sounds great. It's Kurt Russell, man, and he delivers one of the lines. He always delivers the line, "Son of a bitch," so great. I just love when he says that. Ego and Peter, father and son, like, it was a great telling of the events that happened in the first one that we didn't know. We get answers in the second one, which I really appreciate. I liked Kurt Russell and his interactions with Chris Pratt. I thought that was great. I think a lot of the characters in here were great. I thought a lot of, acting wise, I think the acting was just as good as the first one. I will say in the very beginning, it did seem like a little bit kind of Universal type ride acting. But I did love, because they focus on little baby Groot, and I love baby Groot. I love baby Groot in this film, and I love the opening sequence with the titles. Such a great scene, such a great opening to a film. I really, it wasn't the very, very first opening. It was just like, give us some time and then wait till baby Groot does his thing, and we're going to get right into that opening. And I really did enjoy the hell out of that. There's a lot of great visuals. They slowed down a little bit of the visuals so you could really appreciate it. And I did. I appreciated a lot of things, that the look of the film. I appreciated a lot of thought that was going into the crafts, the spaceships, the costuming, the designs. I really appreciated all that. I think it looked great. I think it sounded great. And I think it was just an overall very beautiful film to look at. I felt like the music was a little bit too over your head in this film. They were subtle from the first film. You got to remember, the first film did have some great classic music, but what it had a bulk of too was the score. And we do get some of the score in this film, in the sequel, but it's just overpowered by a lot of nostalgia kind of music. And the music itself, the soundtrack for the Guardians of the Galaxy 2, good, just not as good as the first one, just like this film. I felt like the music is kind of harkening back to that Missouri kind of flavor to it. It's not, it is about this film is really about relationships, and was really about what Peter wants in his life. Like, he finally grasps onto having a father. What does that mean for him, and what does that mean for the crew that's with him? So I really think this film is really about relationships and where you come from and what you have already. And then also, I really did think the humor, there was some great funny moments in this film. I thought it was really some great laugh out loud moments, but I really feel like it was a hit and miss on the jokes. I really feel like there were scenes that were really close, dramatic kind of scenes, actor to actor pouring out their guts a little bit. In this film, when it was time to go to dramatic kind of level, we did have it, but they would pull in a joke and try to make it funny, which I felt like was very inappropriate. I felt like they didn't time that right at all. So I felt like a lot of the times when we were going to have those dramatic scenes when these two characters and they pull off a joke, it was not the right time. Of course, they do have scenes where it's dramatic and it's them really kind of pouring their guts to each other, and then they don't do that. So I'm glad they have a couple of those scenes, but there was a couple scenes that they just don't do that. Please, just don't do that. This really got me emotional, though. This actually really hit me inside. I actually kind of cried. I kind of watered up a little bit at the very end of this film. And I think a lot of people are going to feel that emotional impact. There is an emotional impact. And that's one of the moments where I was like, good. They didn't play it as a joke. It really brings on to that one moment. And you get a little emotional. That's why the setup of from the middle to the very end, I really felt like was really well done. Even though I was kind of I was going off track a little bit. I was like, okay, we're here. What are we going to do? What does this film want us to do? What does this film still have for us? And when we finally get towards the ending of this film, it just came together very, very nicely, and it really made me feel an emotion. Sadness, basically. I thought the action sequences were well done. I will say the ending, though, there was one particular... I thought the set pieces were well done. Let's just say that. I thought the set pieces were artistically, direction was really great with a lot of the set pieces. It wasn't as, crazy. Of course, there's other Marvel movies that have better action sequences, but for this film and what they were doing and being in the cosmos and being in the galaxy, it really was really cool to see a lot of things being in the setting. I will say, though, towards the very end, it did feel like Man of Steel. It did feel like it was just too much. There was just a lot of shit just everywhere. There was a lot of things flying all over the place. There was just a lot of colors. It just really felt like it was a Man of Steel moment, but in a Woodstock kind of setting, I guess. I think a lot of people are going to come away with this saying that it wasn't better than the first film, but it was good. It was very good. It was worth my money. I think I definitely want to see another movie with these cats. I definitely want to see where the Guardians go from here. Of course, there's a lot of kind of endings. There's like 5 endings, I believe, like at the end of the credits, so stick around. Are they really impactful? Not really, but they're really fun and really cool. But great stuff from Guardians. I think James Gunn is a very talented director. I think he didn't want to go I know he knew he had to go bigger and better, and I think he did that, and that's where it kind of loses it towards the very end. But overall, I think the story that he came up with and the emotion he wanted to get out of us, I think it worked perfectly, and it's great stuff. I really did enjoy this film. So thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Like the video if you like, and comment below. Love to hear your thoughts. I'm Dan Megan. Check out my spoiler review when it comes up. So thank you guys for listening. And like I always say, grab a tick, grab a seat, make sure you got some good popcorn to eat. I'll see you at the cinema. Bye, guys.